Good day, everyone. My name is Ruki Harwahyu. I'm authoring this paper together with my colleague. We are from Universitas Indonesia. Our title of the paper is Rethinking Classroom Ventilation in Post-Pandemic Situation. These are our outline, started by introduction, by reviewing some current issues, including the pandemic and also the acceleration of ICT, as well as the implementation of e-learning in higher education, and continued by the post-pandemic education activity, which put emphasis in the importance of offline classroom, and then move forward to the classroom ventilation. We are discussing about indoor air quality as well as the ventilation. And we propose a simple thinking framework for considering the important factor that may affect the indoor air quality and how to implement the ventilation. And then closed by conclusion. Here, the introduction, we all know that COVID-19 has spread quickly all over the world, and then the main way for the virus to transmit and spread is through human mobility, which is our activity, which is mainly due to our activity, and also close interaction. And again, it is also due to our activity, daily activity in the normal situation. So now we are seeing the quarantine and mobility limitation, and as well as limitation in terms of interaction in the public spaces, etc. And in education, we embrace many higher education, especially we are embracing online remote learning. Unfortunately, by this time, at least after we experienced the pandemic for more than 1 year, the technology in many places are catching up. So the quality of, in this case, is the education when it is performed online, yeah, it is still somehow acceptable, although it is not as good as the original condition. Yeah. So we are trying to highlight some limitation of e-learning or remote learning through the internet during the pandemic. The first of all is this method of learning has the limitation in terms of pedagogical method or teaching methodology. It decreased the effectiveness in knowledge transfers. It has been confirmed by many literatures, and it also limits how a teacher or instructor can trigger and perform or invite the deep thinking of the students. And it also limits the assessment method, especially assessment of motoric or practical activities, and it also harder to deliver actionable feedbacks in some cases. Yeah, and in terms of facility, we have limitation and discrepancies in terms of hardware, software, and gadget, and different ability of the students in providing internet connection, different ability of the school in different cities, especially in remote cities. They are not having very good infrastructure for these online activities. And in addition to that, we also need to train the student as well as the instructor for giving for delivering the lecture through this new method of online learning, as well as online software, etc. Yeah, and there are some limitation also in the implementation sides, such as the student is the student feels that everything is now homework because they are staying at home, it increased the risk of brain fatigue, feeling boring, yeah, burnout, and other health issue, including mental and as well as physical health condition, because we are sitting and seeing the screen longer than before. And also we have the issue of time and screen time management. And material preparation also been reported as issue in some cases, yeah, because the lecturer need to prepare the textbook, and meanwhile some of the material are copyrighted, yeah, so the lecturer need to remake the material, etc. The presentation, laboratory activities, assignment, etc. The teacher, the lecturer need to adjust it so that it is suitable to be delivered online. And lastly, it is support by family, especially parent, maybe for primary education. Parental support is very important. Yeah, so these are the limitations that we find in the literature. The previous limitation pushed us to resuming the offline classroom activity, and also seeing the progress of vaccination all over the world. I think hopefully by the beginning of the next year, the rate of vaccination can be higher, so some activity can resume offline. Yeah, so offline classroom are more preferred. In addition to the previous reason, it is because we can have better lab activities, and we can also have enjoy the campus resources such as internet connection and other devices for lab, and also for the expert. Yeah, this is important factor because one of the important assets of the university is their expert, their professors. By doing offline classroom, students are feeling they can get better discussion or extract better knowledge from the experts, and also better for psychomotoric learning activities, faster discussion, yeah, brainstorming, and also problem solving for student-centered active learning, and also better focus because maybe because they are not doing this at home, they need to extract some effort to get to the school, and after getting there, they can be more focused on the learning. So we arrive at the importance of the classroom ventilation in post-pandemic situation. The ventilation aims is to normalize or to decrease the unwanted substance in the indoor air. In this case, the substance is the aerosol that can contain the virus or other disease, airborne disease. Yeah, we have indoor air quality, which contains the specification, which we can refer to the specification to ensure the safety and the convenience. And this factor is we found that it is affected, yeah, according to the literature, it is affected by the air quality of the quality of outside air, which is indicated by the AQI, and then the occupants number, activity, and also the duration they are doing this activity inside the room, and ventilation system, which can be breakdown, such as the airflow rates, effectiveness, for example, a single inlet versus balance system, which have different point for inlet and outlet, etc. And on-off cycle of the electric ventilation system or the mechanical ventilation system, and the existence of obstacle in the room, as well as the type of the ventilation, whether it is active or passive, such as just an open window. Yeah, this is that is the passive one. And the maintenance record, because the ventilation system should be maintained especially the more complex one, such as HRV. Yeah, we need to be aware. We need to be aware of molds, debris, etc., and the features. Yeah, such as the existence of filtering, temperature control, moisture control, etc. So in this study, we use CO2 as the indicator of the goal achievement because we are not having the enough data for COVID-19 virus. I mean the concentration in the air. Yeah. So we use CO2 because it is pretty similar the product of our respiration. Okay, so we propose to consider more about the natural ventilation, such as safe threshold of the substance, outdoor air quality, amount of exhaled air by the occupants, which is depend on age and activity. And we also found some, we have summarized some literature about this activity, which can be classified as normal, medium, and hard. They exhale a different number of air per amount of time, yeah, as well as this distance between occupant. We consider the minimum private area where no one can other one cannot intervene the other, yeah, because of social distancing, for example, and also the height of room ceiling, and this produce indoor air volume per occupants. So in this simple framework, I think it is easier to explain it using this example. Yeah, using the framework, we try to simulate the case of the following. When the outside aerosol concentration is this amount, and we have 30 students in the classroom, and the minimum personal area between students is 2 by 2 meters, and the ceiling height is 4 meters, producing this amount of air per students. And then the total volume of the room is exactly this one. And then the activity, we consider a simple assignment. So by the literature, we know that they produce on average this amount of aerosol per minute. Yeah. So according to the safe concentration of the threshold, which is it should be below 0.1%, normalized by this concentration in the nature, we continue on thinking about the next factor, which is the when the ventilation is turned on. Yeah, in this situation, it is assumed to be turned on after 5 minutes over here. Yeah. So after 5 minutes, the ventilation is turned on. Before the ventilation is turned on, the substance or the aerosol concentration is rising until just below this threshold. Yeah. And then we simulate two conditions. The first is when the ventilation flow rate is pretty slow, this amount, yeah. And then the second one is when the ventilation rate is increased, yeah. With this low setting, we need the ventilation to be always on. In this case, we assume that it is a mechanical electric ventilation. And for the second case, we obtain that we can turn on and off, yeah, the ventilation system with 50% of duty cycle. For example, 5 minutes on and then 5 minutes off. Yeah. And for the next examination, for the next evaluation or the next simulation, we are simulating the same fan speed or flow rate over here, but we are trying to actually some user try to tend to wanting to extend the off period, presumably for saving the electricity. Yeah, so in this simple calculation using our framework, we conclude that with this speed, yeah, we can turn on the fan just 3 minutes, and then we can turn it off for 5 minutes. if we try to increase the on period to 5 minutes, for example, in the next setting, actually we cannot extend the off period because of the limitation of the room. So in this case, the 2 minutes, actually originally 3 and then we add 2, to be 5. The 2 minutes are wasted because the air is just flowing through the outlet. So actually it is better to turn it off. I mean to save electricity without sacrificing the safety of the air. So in conclusion, our manuscript provide literature studies and then provide also a simpler framework for thinking the previous that I explained. And some technical conclusions are personal air volume can serve as an important factor, not just by dividing the total room volume by number of room occupants, but also we consider more detail by multiplying personal area by the ceiling height. This is more reasonable because aerosols are typically denser, so they will not fly above. They will mostly will stay in our height, in human around human height, and the occupants actually they are interacting the floor, so the ceiling height is just for the volume preservation here, and it validates the social distancing policy. And for the on-off mechanism of the ventilation, we conclude that the on duration can be shortened by increasing the flow rate of the fan, for example. But the off duration can only be prolonged by increasing the room volume, because this represent the total air before it is contaminated by the substance, or here it is by the aerosol. I think that's all my presentation. Sorry if it is a little bit too long than expected. Good day, everyone.